I come back to you now at the turn of the tide. September ends, October begins, and I have returned for episode number 150, boys and girls. Welcome to the S.C.Y podcast. Today, Resurgence from the Ashes, September 1 October and beyond. Why didn't you release an episode for a month? I was mentally toasted. I couldn't write, didn't want to write, and for whatever reason, I just didn't have any heart to write some bullshit that I didn't care about to record behind a soulless voice. And I felt for a while I lost my mojo, so I decided to take a month off of recording. Well, at least the podcast, but kept doing the YouTube thing. And I've also been just living, being a human being, going out there doing things. Ooh, I know, fancy. But I lived in September. September was fun. Football season began, and it's been a pretty fun ride in terms of the sports aspect, right? You get a lot of fun narratives, a lot of new heroes, new villains, old villains, such as the way of sports. Sports ball is kind of phenomenal that way. It's a constant machine of just generating plots and stories of intrigue, and it's just fascinating how all this is unfolding this season. And also went to my high school reunion. Yeah, it's been 10 years since I graduated high school. Holy fucking shit. Where does time go? Well, all the way fucking forward. Because holy shit, we're in 2019 now. I'm an old fuck. It was great seeing all my old high school colleagues. Everyone looked fantastic. And, man, it was a good time. It kind of capped off, really, this year of interesting points of self-reflection. And to me, it was just simply, wow, I've aged. I've gotten old. And it's kind of crazy to think it's 10 years since I graduated high school. Gave me a little bit of perspective, a little bit of context to life. And funny enough, a couple weeks later, went to the Life is Beautiful Festival. Yes, something that I still do appreciate going to. Something that, which, this is funny because I think kids are getting way too young. Maybe I'm getting old, but when you're in a crowd and you're just trying to smoke and there's a bunch of fucking kids, doing other shit, you're like, oh, fuck. Maybe it's not my place anymore. I don't know. But I had a blast at Life is Beautiful. The Life is Beautiful Festival is a fun thing to go to. I go every year. I've gone for 4 years now. I mean, essentially 4 festivals in a row. And that was also a great time. And sandwiched into that and kind of spilling over was the hockey preseason. Most of, really, September. And that kind of occupied, all of my brain. Other shit going on, obviously. The store, all this other shit. But September felt very short, but in a very compacted way. A lot of things happening, a lot of just blur at the end of it. This being the 1st of October and all. And of course, I sit here, 1 October, right? 2019, 2 years later, 2 years to the day, where that awful tragedy happened here in Las Vegas. And it's crazy because I actually just wrote a little piece about how I just kind of took that whole experience and the whole thing about time and what we talked about. I feel like I'm aging, right? It's been 2 years since 1 October, and I sit here now and just got to think, wow, things sure do go by real quick. And sometimes, even in the midst of tragedy, beautiful things can grow. A sense of love, compassion can grow from something so evil and senselessly violent. And it's crazy because you would think, a couple of years ago, I wouldn't have said things like this. Maybe I would have. Maybe I would have thought it. But time does change. Time does change people. You're essentially still the same fucking person, right? Of course. But you add on layers. You learn more perspective. You're provided more context, and that helps you as an individual. And that's something that, thankfully, through this forced hiatus, I've been kind of just getting this all wrapped in my head, just kind of processing and reflecting. And it's been a good month. But the first day of October is more or less complete while we're recording this episode. So I'm going to leave it off with this, with the topic of the week, boys and girls. Ultimately, I'm back, and may Tuesdays be that much fucking louder. And one thing I do want to say about, one really quick last thing I want to say about the 1 October incident is, we'll never forget the 58 lives who were lost. I also want to thank all the first responders who are there and who still help out the community. And to those of you who helped after the incident, donating blood, getting food, to shelters and whatever was necessary to combat such darkness with light and hope. So, thank you to all who are still involved. The Vegas Golden Knights, who we will talk about in a bit. So, I'm going to talk about it again, but boys and girls, it's time for some souse. Sports, and other weird shit. I know. Weird transition. It's been a while. I'm mostly just filming myself and getting weird comments at. That's just kind of my thing right now. But we're back to this, where I'm just sitting in a fucking weird-ass space. But hey, we're recording. And that's the thing, boys and girls. Every day, I will either post up a Cruise Peruse or a Sky High segment on the YouTube page, or review videos, if it's a team game, obviously. So make sure you check that shit out at the Sky Lounge on the YouTube page. Yeah, because I need to reiterate that point 2 more fucking times, right? Yes! Yes, I fucking do, because honestly, I'm not going to talk about literally every little fucking thing throughout the week onto one fucking episode each week, because that just gassed me the fuck out each and every week. So we're going to do a little bit of generalizing, but trust me, we'll still get to some of the meaty parts that's been happening in the sports world around us, boys and girls. Well, at least for now, we're just going to keep it nice and simple. With Arsenal, they're doing just a bare minimum to keep their head above waters in the Premier League and somehow cruising in the cup fixtures. So go fucking figure. It is Arsenal. So we have one more week of football before the international break starts, which happens on the fucking week of my birthday. All right. But yeah. Fuck it. I've accepted that. We're going to move past it and just enjoy American football and hopefully some baseball action, which we'll get to in a bit, boys and girls. But general football news. I mean, football is everywhere, boys and girls. Holy shit. European domestic leagues, Champions League, and I suppose the Europa League is in action all goddamn day. And the MLS, I think, is about to head into playoffs real soon here. So lots of fun times. And also a fun time. Tottenham lost 7-2 against Bayern in London today. Oh, God, I cannot wait to see that away fixture because the funny thing is, it was 2-1 when I went to the theater at halftime to watch Ad Astra. And I come back outside, and the first thing I see on my phone is thumping 7-2. I'm like, there's no fucking way I'm reading this right. 7-2, Tottenham loses to Bayern Munich, and our old boy, Serge Gnabry of Arsenal Football Club, who now plays for Bayern Munich, scored 4 goals in London. Congratulations to the young lad. He's one of our own. Yep, he still is. He still is. Love me some Serge Gnabry. German superstar. Love it. Love it, boys and girls. And what I also love is the Seattle Seahawks that we got to talk about. The 3-1 Seattle Seahawks will be facing the 3-1 LA Rams on Thursday Night Football here in a couple of days. The late, great Paul G. Allen will be the 12th name revealed on the Ring of Honor on Thursday Night Football in CenturyLink Field on Thursday. And how appropriate and wonderful is it that Paul Allen's name is the 12th name on the Ring of Honor? There's no one more appropriate. It's absolutely amazing that something like that is happening. And so, with NFL news, I mean, really, I've just been betting, really, on all these NFL games. I mean, most of these NFL games. And through the last 4 weeks, we've been okay. We've been all right. I think we want to say barely even through 4 weeks, but we're making it, boys and girls. We're trying to make it through the betting process, but it's been fun. It's been fun to watch this NFL season unfold, and like I said, almost every week I'll do a recap of the NFL, probably mostly Mondays, recapping NFL games, and that is going to be on the YouTube page, so make sure you check that shit out. Now, the Lakers. Preseason is going to start this weekend, boys and girls, and I'm kind of excited for the actual season to start on October 22nd. Yeah, so gotta wait for a while because in the NBA, the memes are going to be unreal. I swear to God, with this crazy-ass offseason as we head into the regular season of the 2019-2020 NBA season, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be a wild ride. The memes are going to be gorgeous. Boys and girls, now, let's talk about the Vegas Golden Knights. Today, the Vegas Golden Knights organization had a private practice with the victims and first responders of 1 October 2017. What a beautiful gesture, and we will never forget the 58. And again, I've said the sentiment before. Thank you to all the first responders and who helped and continue to help throughout the community. Thank you. Again, the reason why I repeat sentiments like this is because I do mean this. I do want to emphasize these points, especially on today. Something that is very significant here in Las Vegas. Truly is. And I'm glad an organization like the Vegas Golden Knights take it in stride to really embrace this day and help with the healing process for the city. And I mean, come on, man. I'm in my Vegas Golden Knights jersey right now, and I gotta just, spurn the love. That's just what I do. I just shower the team with love. Criticism sometimes, of course, but there's a lot of love there. A lot of love there. And yes, with love comes hockey, and hockey comes back Wednesday night. Yes. It's exciting, man. Hockey season officially starts tomorrow. Oh my God, it's crazy. I know, I'm excited, as you can tell with the crazy sing-song voice. And here's the thing, boys and girls. Here's the fucking thing. Dodgers. Gotta talk about the Dodgers and Major League Baseball playoffs, which started today, funny enough. And the Dodgers with the 106 wins. And the NLDS starting on Thursday against the Washington Nationals, who had a phenomenal game, coming back down 3-1 at the bottom of the 8th inning with 2 outs, winning the game 4-3. It's going to be a crazy game on Thursday, boys and girls. My body is ready for the postseason, ladies and gentlemen. The NL wildcard was a blast, but the NLDS is going to be that much more sexier. That's right, boys and girls. It is. It is going to be sexy. Now remember, all weekly writing is in the links in the description below. Check that shit out. Weekly writing number 26. Nonfiction, 1 October, 2 years later. Something that I wanted to just write about. Just a couple of thoughts and feelings that I was feeling today. Something of a reflective piece and nothing really too long nor elaborate. It was just something that I just wanted to put out there. And give me some fucking credit, boys and girls. I haven't written in a month. It's been really fucking bad. I haven't even written shit. And so I feel like this is a good stepping stone today. Bearing the emotions and just putting that shit on the table. And really, weekly film number 26 stirred the emotion pot a little bit too. Ad Astra. My God. The plot. Yeah, director James Gray asking the question, what's more important, humanity or science? Emotion or progress? This constant binary theme was one of the main things that drove this movie's plot, which was a astronaut involved with the space program in the near future, figuring out a way to stop this surge, they call it in the movie, just from essentially destroying the Earth. And it's just a journey of constantly putting that theme into question, and they do it so beautifully. I feel like Ad Astra is seriously one of the best fucking artistic movies I've seen in a while. It was so great, and it was only made great by the character-driven Roy McBride, acted by none other than Brad Pitt. And I gotta say, how does this man get better with age? Not just the looks, but his acting has gotten immensely better since the days of Seven, since the days of Snatch, since the days of Troy. It's insanity. And honestly, to me, Ad Astra might be Brad Pitt's best work yet. It's unbelievable. And it's also capped off by some beautiful visuals. Shout out to the cinematography done by Hoyt van Hoytema. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly, but some of the visual styles that's used in this film is just so well done, and the physical feeling of space, the vacuum of space, the kind of immense nothingness that you can feel potentially from space. They bring that in the movies, and visually you can feel that all throughout the viewing. It's incredible to watch, and it's amplified by how well the music is crafted. And shout out to Max Richter. I suck at names, boys and girls. You know that. But Max Richter. Unbelievable. So the sound design was insanely good too. Attention to detail, like space being a vacuum and there being no sound, is subtle brilliance in this film that I feel isn't going to get a lot of credit, because I'm looking at the budget of this movie, which is based around probably like 100 mil, right? And so far, not even 90 million in the box office, and it's been out for nearly 2 weeks. And to me, I guess the only real issue can maybe be pacing, but honestly, this movie is absolutely brilliant. And watching this movie just kind of made me realize you can legitimately do a Dead Space or BioShock movie just from watching this, just from tackling just simple concept and themes like humanity versus science, and putting that into just great detail is something phenomenal, and something that we can potentially see in a good video game movie, which, God, that's an oxymoron still to this day as we record this on October 1st, 2019. But hey, it happens. It happens. But what also happens is this. Me giving this movie a 9.5 out of 10. Despite the pacing issue, Ad Astra is a brilliant piece of film. And adding to the fact that you have great music, amazing visuals, and the brilliant acting of Brad Pitt just makes this a must-see movie. If you haven't already, boys and girls, I would absolutely recommend you go check out this movie, because guess what? Tickets are cheap now. This movie isn't going to be the new blockbuster thing. It's going to be the Joker, which I'm going to see and review next week. So be on the lookout for that shit, boys and girls. Woo! Now, let's move on to some weekly album. Number 26, Kirk, the Baby. And a funny tidbit, new the Baby, fucking quickest click on Spotify I've made in a while. Favorite track for me was Gospel featuring Chance the Rapper, Gucci Mane, YK Osiris. You know what? I'm going to get to this point in the thought process, but the thought chorus, but let me go ahead and pinpoint my least favorite track, The iPhone featuring Nicki Minaj. And here's the thing. I think the Baby is a fantastic rapper who flows as well as create just audio poetry story throughout the lyrics. It's an amazing album. It really is. The only problem I have with iPhone is just the pretentiousness and just uselessness of Nicki Minaj, who I don't really care for at this point. But all throughout this album, you're listening to this and thinking, this is raw. This is just laid bare for all to witness. And that kind of rawness from rappers, I love. I absolutely love. When I listened to YBN Corday's new album, nearly a month back, I would imagine, same kind of vibe, same kind of energy of having that soul, having that impact in the lyrics. And it's something that I gravitate towards, despite the fact that I may not be a, hip-hop savant. I'm not a fucking expert by any means. But it's something that I really, really did enjoy just listening to the album. And so kudos to the Baby, who, in my eyes, is a recommended number one rapper. If anyone asks me, like, hey, who would you want to listen to in the hip-hop world right now? Well, if Kanye's still alive, obviously Kanye number one, then YBN Cordae, the Baby. I'm looking for those guys right now. That's just me personally. The Baby is just doing home runs, man. He's hitting that shit like Cody Bellinger. It's beautiful. I know. Got baseball in the brains. Because October reigns, baby. October reigns. And next week at the Sky Lounge, it's the most wonderful time of the year because it's October. So, folks, thank you so much for joining me this week. Make sure you're subscribed on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Google Music for a new episode every Tuesday, which, yes, I am back. I am going to be doing these episodes every Tuesday. And hopefully, maybe I learn from my past mistakes and keep the episodes relatively short like this. Who the hell knows? Maybe I talk a little too long on an episode. I'm not making any guarantees, but what I am saying is I'm going to be back on this consistently. And again, thanks for joining me. Make sure to follow me on YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook at the Sky Lounge, which I have a lot of shit going on in the social medias right now, boys and girls. On the Instagram page, lots of prediction, lots of memes, lots of clippets of the YouTube, which you should check out, again, at the Sky Lounge. Stalk me on Snapchat at DA13IG5UNG. Fuck off. All right, real quick, though. Yeah, we're back. That fuck out for real.